Okay. Oh, okay. Remember, you have to be right up there.
Right up.
There you
I'm
go.
ready.
All right.
I'm totally ready.
Hello, YouTubers. Thank you for joining us this morning, and for as you follow us during the week, as you watch during the week.
I know, it's so fun.
Kelsey, what's going on over there?
She's
You know, I can't really operate without a paparazzi, so we hire her to come in, and
she follows Tom
Yeah,
wherever he goes.
she motivates me. Kelsey, I was looking at some of your photographs on our websites lately, and they're looking good. Yeah.
She went from cook to photographer.
Yeah. Like, what's your face? Sarah Flotard.
Oh, was Sarah Flotard a cook too?
Yeah, she was at the
Oh, I
palace.
didn't know that.
In the blue jumpsuit on the line.
Wow. Petite Sarah. Wow.
So was Loretta, though. Yeah.
Loretta was on the line at Palace?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Welcome to the Hot Stove Society Show on Cairo Radio. It's Tom Douglas. Yay!
Here we are.
We're small but mighty around here this morning. Chef Terry is on a jet to Portugal with Charlie.
What's the occasion?
I think Portugal is the occasion.
Just like let's go drink some.
Yeah, I think Charlie had rented a place over there and he invited Terry and Kathy along. So we're going to miss him for a couple of weeks. I'm sorry to say, but we're excited to have Bridget Charters, one of the
hi guys,
one of the instructors here at the Hot Stove Society, jumping in. You'll remember her voice from her losing stints on the Food for Thought Tasty Trivia Challenge.
Whatever,
because
Tom.
she is the most competitive loser I've ever met on that segment.
Or winner.
Did you ever win one?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Just checking. We are the Hot Stove Society Show, coming to you from the Hotel Andra here in downtown Seattle. Landmarks around us, 4th and Virginia. Lola Restaurant is downstairs.
Dahlia Bakery across the street.
Serious Pie. It's all in the neighborhood. We have fun 2 people in our live audience. You know, you guys are going to have a delicious breakfast this morning. Coffee, all sorts of goodness here today. Microgreens. We got some microgreens coming your way. Now, if you don't feel good yet, you're going to feel really good after having those. Charlie's Produce is here. If you've ever want to follow one of their trucks, you'll see them come up right to our restaurant. Secrets of Paella. You know, Bridget, you teach a lot of Paella classes here at the Hot Stove, and people are a little intimidated Paella, including me, because I'm too impatient for it. I always want to turn my fire up too high.
But you like drinking wine, don't you?
I do.
There you go. Bingo. Just relax. Chill out.
Yeah, but I'm down to 2 glasses of wine a day, and it just doesn't go very far.
Oh, maybe a little glass of water to start.
Ugh. Food in the news. You know, Martha Stewart's in the news. Costco food court is in the news. And a birthday cake for somebody you don't like. How do you make and what do you make for a petty birthday cake? Because you're in charge, right? And you have to bring it, but you don't like the person you're bringing it for. What do you do? There's a lot of information.
Okay, I got it.
You got some ideas?
Yeah.
All right. It's dumpling time. Dumpling Fest is coming up here at the Hot Stove, and we're going to talk about that. Chef Annie and Bridget are going to do a little dumpling battle right here on the air. And, of course, we're going to wrap up our show today with Food for Thought Tasty Trivia, brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs. That's always a fun ending to our show.
It's the best.
And, you know, right now I don't have the questions in front of me.
I got cards in the office.
But I can guarantee you're going to lose today because we have 2 audience members that are going to come up here and kick your butt, because I'm the announcer now.
I know.
Ever since Pam left us for the Pike Place Senior Center and Food Bank, I'm the announcer. So,
are these random questions, Tom?
Yeah. Liz makes them up now. We have a large show for you, as I said. Sean is over there on technical. Liz has put the show sheet together, and Sean in the Cairo Studios is our editor. The thing I don't want to miss today is my good friends down at Mutual Fish have announced that they're going to be closing up shop as of September 16th after 76 or 8 years in business. And, you know, like a lot of things, some things don't make me sad. They make me joyous for the experience and for the run that they've had. And people said that about my Dahlia Lounge. You know, oh, aren't you sad about your Dahlia? Yeah, I'm a little sad, but we had a really good run.
Amazing.
And I sent Harry a note, text the other day. It's like, wow, you have had an incredible run. And that should be celebrated and not be sad about it.
Right.
And so I plan on going down there. Whenever I went down there to buy fish, which was more often in the early days before we got to be a larger company, we could buy wholesale, right, in a bigger way.
Yeah.
I would sit in the back and have just the worst coffee and the worst pastries and the best time sitting with the crew at Mutual back in the break room. And just to my, if you're looking at it going into the room, to my left was the smokers that they made their beautiful smoked salmon with.
Oh, wow.
And then all along the wall, there was this kind of homemade, maybe 25-foot long fryer bath kind of thing. And they would make their fish cakes in there. And the whole back room would smell like fish cakes. And I always loved the deluxe fish cakes with a little bit of crab in, the surimi.
Wow.
Bean sprouts and green onions. And it was just...
So they pre-fried them and then chilled them?
They were made cakes and then they would chill them. They would fry once or twice a week. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they very few places actually did their own. They would buy fish cake factories, but Mutual always made their own, and it was just the best time. And Harry would just extol every time I would ask him, like, what do you do with this fish? What do you do with that fish? Oh, well, I steam it with a little garlic, a little ginger, a little soy sauce. And it would be the same thing every time with every fish. And I still make that. I love the simplicity and deliciousness of that to this day.
You taste the fish
in my home kitchen. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. So when is the last day?
the 16th. And when Pam had to leave the show to go do Save the World down at the Pike Place Market, I was sad, but I was also joyous for her because I knew that that's what her last, not her last wish, but she wanted it to be kind of her last job, was to help the nonprofit world. And so I was happy for her, sad for me, but in my happiness for her, I sent her a check so that I could help with the mission down there.
Nice.
So what I would say about Mutual closing is, don't be sad, be happy for their run, and go down before the 16th and buy a nice piece of fish and create your last memory with them. Celebrate a fabulous 75 years or so, and be joyous.
And take them like a 12-pack of Japanese beer, right?
I think they have plenty of beer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we opened at Hot Stove, we had Mutual Fish. I always had Mutual Fish.
I did too at Cafe Sport and stuff. But then,
Yep.
when you get to be a bigger company, you buy from who they buy from sometimes. And so that's where we ended up.
Yeah.
Because we were spending $100,000 a month on seafood. So
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
and that was just at Edda's.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So anyway, that's my taste of the week. Do you have a quick one for us?
I got a quick one, and that is, as I was saying to Tom, my husband's been out fishing, and so every day we've had either pink or coho salmon for dinner every day. And we use your veggie rub on it.
Nice.
We grill it, and then we grill a piece of bread and pile a bunch of tomatoes and basil on it. Extra virgin olive oil, garlic on the bread. Boom.
Lovely.
Delicious dinner.
Yeah. And good. So I'll say one more thing about Mutual. If you go down to Mutual this week or next week for their last week, get a piece of their kasu cod.
Oh,
Hopefully they still have some, but that is where I learned to love the miso kasu cod. So
Nice.
fabulous. Okay, up next, we've got Moshe. I'm not sure how to say this. Can you ask Moshe before he comes on? Is it
Moshe
Moshe?
Bassan.
Is it Moshe or Moshi?
Moshe Bassan.
Okay. Up next, we have Moshe Bassan coming in. He's a Jerusalem chef with a new cookbook out called the Eucalyptus Cookbook. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Awesome. I was doing some research on him
And
because we got the class coming up. His restaurant is very famous in Israel, and it's amazing. Jerusalem there, and it used to be in this location, and they ended up putting apartment buildings. But when he was a little kid, he'd put this tree up. Asked his mom. Okay, but it was awesome. Save it. Yeah, amazing story. There he is.
Hi, Moshe.
Hi.
Welcome to Seattle.
Yay.
Hallelujah.
Where are you now?
I'm in my garden at home on my way to the restaurant.
Nice.
So you can see here, this is a special sort of mayoran or za'atar, Aesop in the Bible. And there is plenty of others, and the lemon tree, and.
Lots and lots.
Beautiful.
Looks lovely.
Yeah. This is my medicines.
All right. You ready to go, Moshe?
I'm ready.
All right. Welcome back. It's the Hot Stove Society Show. Thank you for joining us today. Happy to be in your garden, in your car, in your backyard, wherever you happen to be, on a jog, listening to us on a podcast or live on terrestrial radio. We're going to join Moshe Bassan over in Israel.
Yeah, he's in Jerusalem. Amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing place. My Chef Moshe, my friends were there at your restaurant about a month ago, and they said it was amazing. So delicious. I'm excited to have you here so we can cook with you here at the Hot Stove.
It will be just great, and I'm so excited to talk to you. And also, you know, this book arrived after really long pregnancy, and I'm so excited, like holding a new baby, and I'm now a grandfather, but it's thrilling me.
Must be thrilling. I know my daughter just had twins to make 3 grandchildren, and so exciting and so much work. So tell us about the eucalyptus cookbook, maybe its origins and why you felt the need to put down in words what you do at work every day.
You know what? When I start doing what I'm doing under the eucalyptus tree that I really planted on Tu B'Shvat, the Festival of Nature and Trees, not like 61 years ago. Soon it will be 62 in next Tu B'Shvat. And I wasn't going in the mainstream of restaurateurs and so. Although my brother, he opened the restaurant under my tree using our home where we grow up as a child, as a kitchen, and we will serve in the balcony under the tree in a hut that was surrounding the tree. And he thought like making food for the employees in the area. And I joined him to kid him and to consult him. Now he's kidding me. And I took things from my mom's kitchen and much more mothers in the region. You know that I grow in an area on the border, on the Jordanian border from one side, and we used to have a bakery out there. And my dad, a religious Jewish person, will allow them to use the hot stove in our bakery to bake their special foods for the Muslim high holidays. And I can see it, smell it, but I cannot touch it. I cannot taste it because it wasn't kosher. By the years, I start to adapt these dishes to my kitchen. And by that, I found that I'm using the wild herbs of Eretz Israel, of the land. And when I found that za'atar is hyssop. Hyssop is the branch of Moses when they just left Egypt, or it's everywhere in the Bible. And then to find a path to the Bible and through the Bible to this ground. And as the very, very beginning, people will ask me, where were you trained? Which school? So I didn't know how to say it. I didn't. My really great teachers were mothers and grandmothers, and my mom, Shetichie, and my grandma, and mothers from the region. I belong to a group called Chefs for Peace, and I'm studying from these guys that they went to the French, Italian, and modern cuisine, and I'm going to the cuisine of their mothers. And sometimes I will go to my colleague and take me to your mom, and I want to study again another dish that he let me taste, and I say, okay, this is what I want. How do you do it? I say, I don't know. Ask my mom. And
That's awesome.
so it's a cuisine that lately became a sort of the Israeli cuisine, the new Israeli cuisine that every Israeli chef doing it abroad. I can say, and I will be not a modest, I'm 73 now, so I allow myself, that I entered to this cuisine of the mothers and the grandmothers, and I brought it to the table. And so you can just imagine that all the way people, if it's chefs or just households and that want to cook this food, was asking for the book. And I would think, well, I like to write stories, and I was writing stories and short stories, but not touching the recipes. Recipes is easy. It's in my mind. I can do it in 2 weeks, all the book. But it's not like that. It took me some years. I'm happy that Sharon, my daughter, entered to work with me, and she took big part of the job on her shoulders. And Michal from the other side, both were pushing me, consulting me, and writing with me, Sharon especially. And here it is.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to have you here at the hot stove on the 13th of October, Friday
Yeah.
the 13th.
Yeah, and this, can I say, we got this event through the Jewish Community Center over on Mercer Island, and it's amazing. They do these beautiful book events, and so Chef Bassan is going to be coming and doing a class there, but we got lucky, so we got him at Hot Stove, and he's actually going to be cooking with us for the class. So it'll be a demo only, and we'll get to taste about 6 of his different dishes.
It looks like beetroot kuba, King Solomon couscous, whitefish kebabs with preserved lemon cream, and semolina cake with babusa kisses.
And then we've got a couple of other items, so when guests arrive. Yeah. I told Annie, our director here, I said, I need to go to Swanson's nursery because I've got to buy some hyssop, get it planted, because we have some sunny weather, and get a nice bush for you, Chef. So
good luck. Nice I was trying to find hyssop last week. It's hard to find Anna's hyssop. Yep.
You know, you must have a plant of hyssop in your garden and a sage. These two will really save you from anything out, and will help you and will pick you up when you are down. Just today, Sherbel, the manager of the restaurant, he came with this blue under his eyes. I say, you didn't sleep tonight. I say, yes, Ariana, my daughter, my baby, she's having her teeth, and she's crying, and she's not stopping. I say, no, take an hyssop, boil it, and if you don't have, you can try to use oregano, but hyssop is better. Let it boil, and then make ice cube from that, or put a stick in the ice cube. So, and let her have it. There is 2 effects. The cold ice will help from one side, but hyssop, a leaf of hyssop to any sore in your mouth, it will cure it immediately. Like it works like a magic.
All right, Moshe. Thank you so much. Moshe Bassan is a chef from Jerusalem. The cookbook is called the Eucalyptus Cookbook. He has a class of demo here on Friday the 13th of October at the Hot Stove, and we look forward to sharing our kitchens with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Have a wonderful morning.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up, Emily Blessington from Farmbox Greens is going to be here for our Charlie's Produce Cultivating Fresh segment on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
That's good. Come on.
You can see this is very difficult. It takes supernatural talent to be successful. Anise, Anise, A-N-I-S-E, hyssop, H-Y-S-S-O-P.
And so at Swanson's, they may call it hyssop, but there's a couple of, like mint, a couple of different varietals. So it's part of the mint family. And sumac is also part of that. Yeah. And they both grow green, but then when you dry them, the color changes. And hyssop is traditionally used when he said za'atar. You know, it's amazing. Awesome.
bet. Yeah. I didn't believe it was sorrel because of the red veins, but sure enough, it is. I lost the bet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and so that
Where's Izzy and Madeline? I'll be over here.
Yay.
Nice.
you're gonna lean right in.
Okay. I'll lean in. Perfect. Was that?
We went to our digs yesterday, so flew to California and back.
Really?
Today. All,
With Tom?
um,
Or is Tom with Charlie?
not Tom. Yeah, we had Brian. So ate some figs right off the tree. And then we're done.
Oh, really? Go to my backyard.
Oh.
Well, you gotta invite me over. Oh, they were delicious. Learning about the different varieties.
Yeah.
I mean, the trees have been there like 7.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fun. Who'd you take with you, though? The big buyer and
We took our buyers and then
Oh, who from Met Market?
Tino,
Mm-mm.
their category manager for produce.
Oh wow,
And they just opened the new store by you.
I know we were there.
By you too, you know.
We went to the grand opening. It was really
Oh
cool.
yeah.
They broke bread.
It was too busy
like
for me.
ribbon cutting.
Yeah. It was too busy for me to go in there yet. I've been working on my diction because I tend to want to talk too fast and then I slur and then I'm eating all the time. So I'm salivating and it's like,
Sure.
so I was working on my diction, reading my grandson a story.
Oh,
But
that's great.
You have to read a little slower for the kids, right?
And you've got to use different voices.
Yeah, and you can't use cuss words. So
I'm afraid.
you have to expand your vocabulary.
So my son Spencer, when he was young, said to some relatives that were visiting, he said, "I want to be a trucker so that I can swear all the time." Because I had, I had
well,
a bad
we know
habit
who his
of
mother
it.
is. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Okay, Emily, are you ready?
Ready.
So practice with me. You have to talk right to the microphone, be
Okay.
super sexy, or you could be out here and be a jerk.
Okay.
Okay, so right in there.
Get right in there.
Can do.
There, perfect.
Did you hear that? That was your NPR voice right there. We're back here in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society show. Bridget Charter sitting in for Chef Terry, who's
Hey, Tom.
on a jet somewhere to Europe.
No.
with Charlie and
So
and
excited.
Courtney
Going to get some sun in the med.
in the Med. So thank you, Bridget, for sitting in for Terry this week. I believe next week he's out too. I think it's 2
Is he?
Thursdays,
Oh,
yeah.
see I'd love to do it.
Well, we'll see
If
how
you're
you do. We'll see
asking.
how you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
today, huh?
It's an audition.
Audience,
I know,
we'll
I
see
was-
how she does today. Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
All right. Emily Blessington is here from Farmbox Greens. She's part of our Charlie's produce segment every week, Cultivating Fresh. And these are certainly fresh. And I remember Charlie talking to me about vertical gardening and maybe getting involved with it about 10 years ago. And it seems like he has done it.
He sure has.
Wow.
So, Emily, tell us about what you brought today, because when I see these things out in the restaurant world, at all the fanciest restaurant, they're kind of like typically a finishing garnish for many dishes. And so people used to think that was like a little frilly. Now they actually get a mouthful of flavor and they realize it's super delicious.
They are. Yeah. I brought pea shoots. I brought radish mix that has daikon, purple radish, and red stem radish.
Mhm.
And then I brought red vein sorrel. And they all, create different flavors,
Wow.
textures. They have different, I think microgreens are really interesting because they provide a lot of nutrients too.
Right. Why is that? More so than than
Yeah.
anything else?
Yeah, because they're the tiny versions of the plants. So they just have that concentrated,
I see. Yeah.
amounts of nutrients. So yeah, they're a great addition to, things like tacos or on top of really anything. Like
Yeah. They're not
just
meant
a
to be
great-
cooked, that's for sure, because they're too delicate, right?
Yeah,
So,
not too much. I mean, I think the only time that I've really seen them cooked is the pea shoots in stir fries and stuff
Mhm.
like that. That's really popular and really tasty. But they're good fresh.
So
Yeah.
go back to the beginning. How did you get started in this, and the relationship with Charlie's, and how do you grow these little things? Because it seems to me you have to be a miniature person to get down low enough to cut these off the ground.
So I got started 5 years ago. I was traveling around Europe and I was farming,
Mhm.
and I figured out that I love farming and I want to do it full time. So I came back home to Seattle and I found Charlie's Produce, and they had a vertical farm
Uh-huh.
called Farmbox Greens, and so I started there at the entry level position, and then I've kind of just worked my way up
Nice.
throughout the years. And so
So what is vertical farming?
vertical farming, so we grow indoors.
Okay.
We grow hydroponically, so we grow just with water and nutrients and light. And then we get to grow in like an urban environment. And so
So you could do that in a warehouse anywhere, really,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How much space do you guys have there?
It's a pretty small room. I think it's like 1,600 square feet, like in total for everything.
So like the ground floor of a house, kind of.
yeah.
And so do you just have like, okay, so explain it. I'm confused.
Okay.
Do you have
What
like
are
a
confused about?
chain from the roof to the floor, and things grow on a chain all the way up and down vertically?
Nope, we got two different kind of systems, and so we have different levels. So we have 10 levels. They germinate first on these germination racks, and then after they're done germinating, we put them on the system, and then they just get constant light, water, nutrients, and then we pull them off via ladder. So we are on a ladder a lot, and then we will bring them back down, harvest them in our harvest room with scissors. So most of them are hand cut. And
So
then
you can
we'll-
stand up with your scissors. You don't have to
yeah.
bend over.
We don't have to go into the farm and cut all of them.
Uh-huh.
We'll bring them into the harvest room, and then we'll they'll put them in packages, and then they're ready to go to.
So it's the
restaurants.
vertical then is all about not taking up a bigger footprint, right?
Right.
You can just do the same thing all the way up to the
Yeah.
sky.
So they're what are they, like big plastic trays full of water that you?
Yeah, we grow on these kind of smaller trays. I think they're like 4 feet by like 1 foot. And we just we got like a we grow on this kind of like PLA compostable substrate.
Okay.
And then once we cut them, then we
So you
toss
just
the
lay the
substrate.
seeds down and let them grow. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen that substrate sometimes and like the daikon radish packages and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool
Yeah.
medium.
So
Yeah.
those are they're all hand cut. There's
Most of
no
them.
mat. You're not growing them on little mats and
Yeah,
then cutting
substrates,
the
you
mat.
said, yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
But for peas, we just grow them on the tray themselves. They kind of create their own root map. And so it's very cool. They're
Oh, and so
they're
you
a fun
just
one.
trim that. That's neat.
Mhm.
So if for our listeners that are listening to this, where could they buy these?
Yeah, we do sell to retail and food service locations. We sell to Uwajimaya, we sell to QFC, Met Market, all those places.
Neat. And they're just smaller packs than what we're seeing here.
they're about half that size.
Yeah, they come in a little clamshell like this, and hopefully compostable or recyclable.
They are recyclable. Yeah.
Good. Because that makes me crazy when things are like fresh organic produce is packed in non-recyclable containers. Makes me a little twisted.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Bridget, you and I have used these sprouts for a million years. You never really saw them in retail up until maybe the last 5 or 8 years. They do make an incredible salad thing. So if you're making like a right now, peaches are at their peak low, or maybe just
great
getting
idea.
a little past. But if you're making like a peach salad and you want some maybe some black peppers, some maybe muscatel vinegar, and then garnish with some of these little spicy radish sprouts, that is the kind of perfect way to do it. Or the red vine sorrel is so pretty. I know it
Mhm.
tastes good too, but it's actually
It's gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would use these. The thing is, you can't pre-dress too much. You kind of want to garnish with them because they're very
Delicate.
Disappear.
delicate, and the
Yeah.
vinegar will cook them in an instant,
Mhm.
right? Or the olive oil will weight them down,
Right.
and so you really do kind of want to just finish with them. And if you finish with these, like the red vein sorrel, and then finish also with some Malden sea salt with the big flake salt, you get that nice combination of salt and
So good.
and
Yeah.
sour green right
Yeah.
together.
They're fun and citrusy.
Yeah.
Now, if we buy these at the store, is there like a date on them that we should look for? Oh, there it is. No.
Yeah, for the food service locations, we stamp the today's date when we harvest them.
Uh-huh.
For retail locations, we'll stamp it's basically 10 days.
More of a
from-
Best Buy, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
And do they
10 days from
keep
harvest.
nice? So just keep them in the fridge and they'll
Yeah.
keep beautifully?
Yeah, you just
Oh,
refrigerate
cool.
them and
And they'll
they're
keep
good
for
to go.
literally weeks. I mean, you might see a Best Buy date, but I would open up the container and take a look because they keep for a long time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of produce, if as long as it's kind of in a humidified environment without a lot of airflow,
Yeah.
it keeps really well.
Nice. And I've been, everybody's tomatoes are coming in now. I've been doing a lot of tomato salad. So
Yeah,
same
that's
thing.
perfect.
Yeah.
So, what other flavors do you have? I hear you brought peas, you brought a mixed radish,
Yeah.
and you've brought the red vine sorrel.
Yeah, we have, let's see, right now we're growing micro broccoli. We've got a marigold that's seasonal for chefs right now.
What is like a flower marigold?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so
you
we
mean
just
the
grow-
greens?
Yeah, we're growing marigold greens,
Huh.
and so it's fun and kind of tangerine orange flavor,
Mhm.
really good.
Oh.
And then we're growing. Let's see what else we're growing. We got our intensity mix that has mustard greens and amaranth and red cabbage and things like that. And then we got Italian basil and cilantro, things like that.
Right.
So
I guess I just didn't even know those things were out there. So
No.
it's been a long time since I've been the one who orders produce. But if I was ordering produce,
Right.
yeah, I think
Right.
that would be super fun
Well,
because
what's that place? Cooks something in Ohio that you started the industry basically years ago.
Cook's
doing-
Farm, yeah.
Cook's Farm, right? And they started doing baby vegetables. Are you guys going to go that direction? Doing little baby corn shoots or
we
baby
do grow-
carrot shoots?
Yeah, we do grow corn shoots for holidays. So we grow them for Easter, which is pretty fun. But for little vegetables, I think we'll need a different system for that.
Yeah.
But that would be really fun.
That'll take up a lot more space.
Yeah, yeah. But that'd be
That's
great.
amazing. Wow.
Really
And how are they selling? How
Great.
is it doing well?
Yeah, we're
you're
doing-
employed, so I guess
That's
it's
true.
doing well, right?
It's good. Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of these things come along as fads, right? Like the baby vegetable thing to me became a fad and it has disappeared and it's gone more towards organic. The sprouts came out at the same time and they continue to kind of explode with interest, I think.
Yeah.
It's gone past the fad stage.
Right. Well, remember back in the 70s, it was quote unquote sprouts and it was alfalfa sprouts.
Yeah.
And my mom used to put them on sandwiches and it was just like, ugh,
Yeah.
God.
Your
And now,
Your mom must have been friends with Pam Hinckley.
yeah. Exactly.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for coming and sharing the whole sprout culture with us. We appreciate that.
Thank you guys.
And thanks to Charlie's for being our partner in this segment. Up next, it's Secrets of Paella with Chef Bridget Charters on
easy,
Cairo
easy,
Radio,
Yeah.
Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Thanks. That's great.
Thank you.
Nice
guys.
job, Emily.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
excited for the miracle ones.
Yeah. Have to bring him next week.
I
so
like
we
the
can
little
try
corn
'em.
shoots. My favorite still are the pea shoots. Though. They have, in my mind, the
Yeah.
most flavor. Yeah. Did you have a favorite of that group? Yeah, it's a little pick me up.
Yeah. So how many different seeds do you plant? Neat. And then you're testing and practicing and doing other stuff. Really cool. That's great. Awesome. How fun.
I don't either. I would try everything in
Oh,
Nova
yeah.
Scotia, and then I wouldn't try.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Man. Well, yeah, I got a fridge drawer here. Tuck these away. Way to innovate, Charlie. Keep them nice and cold.
Those are mochi donuts.
Look at that.
So they have a
Yum.
little non-fried or baked.
Yeah, it's just the mochi flour, right? The rice flour and eggs, a little sugar. Pretty simple. They're baked in molds, in silicone molds. It's piped and then baked and then topped. Pretty cool.
I don't know what you got. Richard, taste that and tell her what that is.
Hers is different. That's, I think, citrus. I think that's an orange one. This one is, I think mine is a,
How'd we do, Emily? Oh, yeah? I didn't know that.
so when you, Emily, when you were traveling, were you doing the woot? W-O-O, yeah, woof, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And it's
We talked
world,
about that. Maybe next time you come on,
Yeah,
we do
next
a
time.
segment on that.
yeah, World Organization of Organic Farms. And it's, there's a map. So like, what country do you want to go to? There's a map.
Right, ready, set, Sean?
All right, here we go.
You can say good morning, Annie. Good morning. You saw this. Can you believe the amount of homework I did on that? You don't care, Sean. All right. Yeah, we're back in the kitchen here at the Hot
Yay.
Stove Society down at the Hotel Andra, downtown Seattle. Highly energized crowd this morning. Thanks to everyone who showed up today, including Bridget Charters,
Thanks,
sitting
Tom.
in for Chef Terry on his way to Portugal. Wish him the best of times over there. Chef,
What
we do a lot of classes here at the Hot Stove.
We
Some are
do.
public classes, you know, knife skills, how to break down a chicken, make coconut cream pie, masa masters, and we post those at the Hot Stove Society .com website. And then one of the ones that we do here quite often, it's very popular both for a class and for a dinner for like a corporate event. So we do tons of team builders here too, where groups hire us to kind of facilitate a cooking, not necessarily, sometimes it's a competition, like a dumpling competition, or sometimes it's just dinner with the teammates, right?
Right.
And everyone makes a paella dinner, and then they sit down and enjoy it afterwards.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the most popular thing on our class schedule.
That and Italian classics, Tom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So tell us about paella, because I've done this class with you quite a few times, and I always kind of beg off the paella station, and I'll jump into empanadas, or I'll do some of the support dishes, because I generally just don't have the patience for paella. And so, how do I gather that patience, or do I just always just leave it to you? And what do you tell people? What's the most important part about making paella?
Patience and following the
I just
steps.
said I don't have it.
I know. Well, it's all about with making paella. What's so cool about it is that it's a national dish of Spain now, but it's from a very specific region, and they're trying to protect that region. Just like in Italy, protecting balsamic vinegar, or France protecting champagne. So this region, Barcelona, wants to protect paella. Now, if you go somewhere else in Spain, it's called an arroz, and it can be whatever. And that's Tom likes to improvise, so he's the arroz guy.
So what's the difference?
So there's two classic paellas.
Oh,
the
okay, I see what you're
Marisco.
saying.
So either
When you
it's
change it, you're improvising. You're not necessarily not making paella.
correct.
Okay.
So either it's land or it's sea. And if it's land, there's no sea in that paella, as in SEA. So, but if it's, vice versa. So the land-based paella, the classic paella, is either made with radish. It's made with, radish. I'm looking at the radish sprouts. Sorry. It's made with rabbit. It's made with chicken. It could be made with duck. Imagine workers sitting out in the field, and back in the historic days, it was those Roman soldiers, and they used their shields foraging in the fields and built a paella that way. So they inverted their shields, put them over a fire, and slow cooked ingredients. So searing off the meat, adding some rice, adding a few vegetables, and slow cooking it. So the tradition continues. The Spaniards developed a flat pan, and traditionally it was made of tin. And so now you can buy different types of paella pans, and traditionally it's cooked over an open fire. And so it's great because it's super fun. Tom, you like cooking outdoors.
I do. And over an open fire makes a little more sense to me. And I could be, just because the heat is a little bit wider circle than a burner in your home kitchen.
Right.
And where I get into trouble is trying to make paella on right here in a home kitchen burner.
Right.
That's got a circle of about 6 or 7 inches, sometimes less. And you got a paella pan that's 15 or 18 inches wide.
And
So what's the trick? You
can
do it. You do it. I watch you do it all the time. So what's the trick?
So if it's just, here we are in the Pacific Northwest, and it's not raining right now, but it's about to very soon. And if it's pouring rain, you don't want to go outside on your gas grill, or you don't want to have to fire up your Weber barbecue with some nice wood and get those embers down. As I say to the guests, get those embers down to s'more level to build a beautiful paella. That's the temperature that you want it at. You don't want it just smoking hot, because it'll burn your paella. The pans are thin.
Okay,
so if they're doing it at home,
yeah.
If we're on the burner, and here at Hot Stove, we're lucky because we've got this grill up front, or in the back, we've got the 2 burners. At home, you've got a burner. Either it's electric or it's gas. And if you can, turn both burners on, kind of medium, and cook that way. 2 burners, and just keep rotating the pan.
That's the trick. Is you really have to you put it on low, but you go higher than low, but you have to be.
You got to turn it up and down. You can't just turn it on and exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what we always say to guests at Hot Stove.
I'm bad at doing.
Right, and it's tough with an electric. You could do it with induction, but you need, what's the metal? You need steel.
Bottom,
so you'd need like a Lodge cast iron style paella pan, and you could do it on induction, but you got to play the temperature going up and down.
All right. So I have a 5 or 6 inch burner. I've got a 15-inch wide paella pan. am I working the edges with the burner? Am I pulling it
Yep,
that
you're
far
pulling the
off?
pan, you're pulling the pan around, and you're using that back burner
Okay.
and rotate. Just rotate the pan, and you get practice at the beginning because you're sweating onions, you're sweating your bell peppers, and getting those cooked to that proper caramelization, and adding your tomatoes for that sofrito base. So you get a little bit of practice getting that temperature just right.
Right.
You
And
know?
then the saccharat. Now, the key to paella is the saccharat. What
Right.
is that?
The socarat is that crust that develops on all paellas, and it's prized by the Spaniards. That's what they go after, is that beautiful crust that's got a perfect amount of smokiness to it. And you're a technician, Tom. I know you love this kind of stuff. Just getting that beautiful, nice crust.
So the key is the
Little bit
crust is on the
burnt.
bottom,
Right.
not the top. People
Burnt
think of crust.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the crust is on the bottom, and burnt is burnt. We know what burnt is, right,
Yeah.
gang?
It tastes scorched.
Yeah, it's freaking burnt. It's
Yeah.
burnt, right? So what you want to do is just go slow and then slowly turn the heat up to get that crust to develop. And you can feel it when you're cooking that paella. Now, the thing is, Tom, the other secret is that once you add that rice in and you add your first addition of stock, you can't stir the paella anymore.
Yeah. See, that's another one of my problems.
You can shake the pan. You got to just have a sip of wine and just look at it and assess and give the pan a little shake as you're adding that stock
But you
in.
can stick your wooden spoon in to feel if you've started to develop
Correct.
your saccharat.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you feel like, oh man, I haven't really gotten there, then right before you're ready to serve it, it's a good way to dry the surface of the paella, because for a traditional, beautiful paella, you've got that beautiful kind of dried out top and a bit of caramelization of the stock around the outside edge. But you can feel that saccharat and you can smell it. You can smell it
because it
as
starts to smell like caramel.
right. And
Yeah.
it starts to smell a little bit toasty, like,
Uh-huh.
oh, this smells like it's starting to burn a little
Uh-huh.
bit. Perfect. That's
Yeah.
what you want. You want that smoke.
But you don't want to go past that point.
burnt is burnt, Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's tricky.
So-
and so you're just constantly rotating the pan. You take a deep breath, you relax, you go get a nice glass of Rioja or Tempranillo, and you just get your guess going on that and just watch the temperature of the pan.
And then, okay, so now we've got our saccharat. It's all cooked. You've checked your rice for make sure it's not too al dente.
Correct.
And then for the last 5 minutes, it seems to me like you put a little piece of parchment over the top or something.
Yeah. Or what you can do.
But you have the fire off at that point.
No, we leave the fire on low and we just use a little piece of foil to kind of capture the heat from the pan so that those last few items across the top surface dry out a little bit. Those green beans cook just a touch more. So you're capturing a little bit of that steam. You're not covering it because then it's going to steam and get gummy, and we don't want that. The other trick that we do is we pop it into the oven for the last few seconds to dry it out. It
All right.
should not be soupy.
That's your paella
There you go, guys. Go.
tutorial for the day.
Yeah.
Food in the news next. The Dumpling Brothers, Chef Jose Garzon and the T. We're going to talk about National Dumpling Day. And Annie and Bridget will talk about Dumpling Fest
I know.
and the upcoming classes here at
Perfect.
the Hot Stove Society
Awesome.
Show. Cairo
Great.
Radio 97.3 FM.
Perfect.
You know, when he comes by and says this, it means.
Yeah. Don't keep talking. Awesome. Look at that.
Hey, Sean.
Annie ordered me one anyway. How nice.
I'm going to talk to both Seans at the second. I want to get this food in the news kind of segment correct. And so before I've tried to kind of run right into each, I have 3 food in the news and I've tried to kind of run them together.
You have a
I'm going to
card?
take a little break in between them. So Sean DeTore, you could push these together because I feel like I'm just racing, trying to get through it. So this way we can kind of make 3 little segments out of the one segment. Okay. Emily, see you later. Appreciate your time. Laura, bye.
Thanks. Take care. Okay. What's Laura's last name?
Like the pay.
Like to pay.
Like the pay.
Like the pay.
Severance.
As spelled as it is. Okay, cool.
She's the nicest person.
And what's her title?
She can
there?
put up with Charlie. She's got to
Oh,
be nice.
man. She's new development or something, or
Marketing.
marketing?
She used to be Charlie's assistant. And now she's marketing.
Because we're doing, I was just asking her, we're doing a Dom Descoffier event here on Monday, the 25th.
I didn't know that was still a thing.
It is.
Huh.
It is. And so we're having the Hartman group in to talk about food trends. And yeah, they are. So they're going to come give a little talk. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be great to get Charlie's to have some of their food trends since it's all about vegetables. So we'll see. Yum.
Sorry, my
Right.
wallet is so fat that it rubs into you.
What you got in there, Tom?
Receipts, fax cards.
So how are the grandkids doing? Little babies.
You know, I don't know about the babies so much. Jackie's been doing a lot of baby care. They're just little blobs. They just are a week. They were born on the 27th of July, but their due date was the 27th of August.
So they were a month early.
They're a
Did they call them preemies? No, not really.
I don't know. She came home in 2 days. They were perfectly healthy.
Oh, nice. They're called preemies?
They're just at that stage right now where they're starting to open their eyes a month later, which took a while, right?
And what are their mythological names?
They're Adonis and Athena. They have a joined Hercules as my grandchildren. Adonis and Athena and Hercules.
And then what are their real names?
Those are their real names, Bridget. I don't know what you're speaking of. Exactly. Why not? Put on some pressure. All right.
I have a feeling.
Hour number 2.
I have a feeling Loretta didn't name them that, but I'm not
I have
sure.
a feeling Loretta didn't pay for any of her schooling, any of her cars, or anything, and that I should have naming rights. That's what I have a feeling about.
That's funny. You could start a trend, Tom.
I did.
No, like national for those dads that have paid.
What do you
for
think
things.
Amazon paid for the name Climate Pledge Arena? I've paid the same on a percentage basis. All right, we're back here at the hot stove. Everyone is eating breakfast, having some mochi donuts, some Dahlia Bakery sandwiches. It's a hot cup of coffee, some toasted shallot mustard, all sorts of goodness going on here in the hot stove kitchens. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a good time listening in. Bridget Charters is sitting in for Chef Terry today. And I just wanted to say, those who came to our Maui fundraiser last week, super fun. We had delicious dinner and lots of good thoughts and feelings for the sad story that came out of Lahaina and Maui. I think we raised close to $10,000 for the Maui
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, the Maui Strong Fund. So
sweet.
Very thankful to those who showed up and participated, because we could put it on all day, but without people showing up.
Right. It was a good party.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
We've got so much to talk about this hour, including food in the news. I have 3 little stories, Chef, to share with you. One is Martha Stewart is in the news again. I know that's a shocking development. And this time it's not for being with not Slim Shady. Who is she with? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Yeah. Look at even our audience members know that.
They know, I know.
Dogg. Martha is in hot water over her cold beverage.
I know.
Do you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah. On August 28th, posting a series of magical images from the Swan Hellenic cruise. Hold on one second. You guys done? On August 28th, posting a series of magical images from the Swan Hellenic cruise around Greenland, Stewart wrote, "We actually captured a small iceberg for our cocktails tonight. For many, it's cause to parody Stewart and other fancy foodies like Ina Garten. And I don't consider myself a fancy foodie, but I'll throw my hat in the ring. Oh. If you can't find fresh icebergs for your cocktails, store-bought is fine," is what some people said online. And many commenters took a more serious issue with the lifestyle maven, neglecting to mention climate change and the alarming retreat of the glacier fjords behind her.
Correct.
But
correct.
I just enjoyed it for what it was.
It's just nonsense.
Martha Stewart reaching into the water, and doing that.
Well, and that cruise would not have been possible if we didn't have retreating ice. Because
sure, it was the Titanic.
Can't do a loop.
The Titanic was there a million years ago.
A loop around Greenland, that was all closed up, right?
I don't know.
But that's Martha.
I've flown over Greenland. I've seen the icebergs.
It's amazing.
They are amazing. So, story number 2, Bridget.
Okay, let's go.
A well-known influencer, Jasmine Bell Pack, who I'm giving a little bit of time to myself, took a bit of a hiatus from posting about far-flung adventures to celebrate her birthday in a way that likely feels like home to many. On both her Instagram and TikTok accounts, Pack posted about her Costco-themed birthday party.
Wow.
Wait
a minute, though.
She celebrated her 28th birthday with a big box bonanza. Things from, she says, the things from my Costco-themed birthday party that just makes sense, reads the text on Pack's TikTok. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll tell you, it was really fun. Honestly, everyone's doing Barbie this year, and I was like, it's weird. I'm doing Costco instead. So I'm very happy, Jasmine Bell tells. Pack's birthday cake, a Costco staple, was topped with a custom Kirkland signature sign. At the Fett's location, a slide leads partygoers into a pool filled with hot dog, pizza, and rotisserie chicken pool floats.
Wow.
Ain't no party like a wholesale party at Costco, I can tell you that, she said. But the good times didn't stop at the food, with Pack's guest really leaning into the theme. In a follow-up video, the influencer highlights the effort her friends put into their outfits. Some guests dressed like Costco employees. There's a khaki and a red vest there, huh?
Right. Tom, did Costco pay for this party?
No. She says no, she wasn't paid a nickel for this.
Wow.
She and her fiance wore T-shirts with an image of Costco's famous $1.50 hot dog on them.
I think she's trying to get money for the future, maybe.
Well, I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe somebody could tell us, but she says a value party like this is what her generation loves. I didn't know that. I should have opened a hot dog stand.
You still can.
I still could.
You still can, Tom.
Why not? Story number 3, and thankfully the last story of today's Food in the News. A woman was asked to bring a birthday cake for a relative party who she doesn't like. She doesn't just not care for them; she hates them.
Whoa.
She's well known for her homemade cakes and cookies and things like that. So she was asked to bring the cake. And insult to injury, she was asked only 24 hours prior to the party to bring the cake. And so she
didn't say
went
no.
online
Oh.
and asked her Instagram friends what to make for a relative that you loathe. What would be a good petty, Petty, not party, petty cake to bring? So there are lots of interesting comments there. Do you have a thought on what you would bring if you were to bring a cake?
I know you asked me, and I would buy one of those nasty cake mixes with the canned frosting and make them one of those.
That seems like a lot of effort for somebody you don't really care for.
You got to come up with a cake, right?
Yeah.
You got to bring a cake. I mean, I guess
Somebody
you
said,
go to Costco.
they brought a salad and they said, I thought you said salad, not cake, so that the birthday jerk would not have a cake on their birthday.
That's a good one.
That
That's a
sounds
good
mean.
one.
Yeah, exactly. Have him write something. Congratulations on your bar mitzvah. For
Get
her.
a discount cake because they
Yeah.
screwed it up.
So what she decided to do, in taking all the advice of all the people that shared, she wrote she wrote and shared a stunningly low effort cake picked up from Walmart. Grocery store cake with a clearance sticker on it.
Walmart's even better than Costco.
And then the blank, she won't even write his name, written his name with a period instead of an exclamation point. Will still taste decent to other partygoers, not bitchy enough to get anyone in trouble. My own personal touch, she said, was these rainbow candles because he's homophobic. Black gel letters, aka the most unfestive.
Perfect. That is good. I was thinking like put sand on top. Like a fine
No,
dusting of sand.
And it's inedible. You can't really do anything with that.
Just go, what? They don't.
No.
Nothing,
You don't want to kill anybody.
You wouldn't kill them with a little bit of sand. Don't get mad, get even.
Wow. I think getting even as a Walmart cake with an expired sticker on it is pretty good.
That's pretty good. That is true.
I hadn't really gone there in my head, but I kind of like that.
Especially since she's
I had thought,
famous for good cake.
Yeah, I had thought bringing like a Safeway cake in a clamshell, still in the packaging and stuff like that.
And drop it before you bring it into the house.
Yeah. Oh my God, I tripped getting out of my car. I'm so sorry.
Exactly.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun to
Oh
think
my
about.
God.
How could you be as petty as possible? That's
That's a tough one. You try not to be, right? You just grin and bear it.
no,
Oh, okay. You're the don't get mad, get even party.
not really. Okay, it's now time for National Dumpling Day when we come back on Cairo Radio. It's the
Oh,
Hot
nice.
Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
God, that's funny. That's a good idea. Safeway, yeah.
So did I break those up enough that they could kind of push those together? So Sean DeTore, I'm not sure how you want to put that together, but I feel like I've been rambling on that segment. I like the segment, but I feel like I've been kind of
That was good. You said 1, 2, 3.
yeah. Even that was better than what I've done in the past. Sean, if you have any thoughts on how that would work better, let me know.
For those guys.
ET, are you ready to jump in? Jose went home sick.
Oh. Bummer.
I think your segment. Or do you feel good about that, or do you know what are you doing? Which one of this group? Obviously, you're doing the miso matzo ball soup and plain pot sticker.
That'll be good.
And then the two more surprise dumplings, so you just haven't decided what they are yet. Okay. Uh-huh.
Like a Ukrainian one?
All right, so let's get up next to the mic. Just bring it to you. Sean, can you open his mic? Oh, there you go. And then I have Bridget and Annie on the next segment.
Cool.
The what culture?
Chifa.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Like
All right.
Peruvian, Chinese.
Super cool.
We're back here in the
Here we
kitchen
go.
on hour number
Yeah.
2 of the Hot Stove Society Show. Thank you for joining us. And my partner and chef, Eric Tanaka, is joining for this segment. Bridget and I.
Yeah.
We do a lot of dumpling challenges here at the
Oh my
Hot
God.
Stove Society Show. So many. And you're going to talk about yours and Annie's little battle in the next segment. But the first segment, we were expecting Jose Garzon from Latinx Street Food. He went home sick, so we're going to just get my partner. You and Jose, we're going to do a little dumpling battle. Is that right?
I'm not sure so much a battle, but he's a really personable guy, and I met him actually on a food panel about 6 months ago.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of just hit it off, and it's going to be fun for us to do it together.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. So it's September 26th is National Dumpling Day, and the Hot Stove will be kicking it off with Dumpling Fest, Dumpling Bros. That would be
Dumpling
you and
Bros.
Jose.
Oh my God.
Which is a demo and a dinner with chefs Jose Garzon and Eric Tanaka. So that's the 26th, if anybody wants to join up for that. So Jose grew up in Ecuador and spent 14 years as a touring musician before opening a pop-up of Latinx street food dumplings that became wildly popular. E.T., you and I have been running restaurants for a lot of years.
Lot.
Isn't it interesting to see all these little food trucks or pop-ups turn into brick and mortar restaurants?
Yeah. And I think, he's still really mostly all pop-up.
Uh-huh.
He's based out of another restaurant, the Black Cat. So he works out of there, but really is just popping up everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
So he's kept that spirit and that style. And for him, it's a model that works, and he enjoys that lifestyle.
Right.
So it is definitely a lifestyle.
I know when food trucks became, they've been hot everywhere around the country. Portland, mostly when we first started seeing them a lot. But the idea of standing in a food truck all day bent over, I just could never get behind it as a large person. So good for them is what I say. Have fun.
But it's exciting because, the pieces that you can put through there, it's pretty amazing as well. Just like the different things that are happening. It was obviously important. There was a huge one pre-pandemic.
Right.
Just all the pop-ups and food carts and things going through there were
Right.
pretty exciting.
But you guys, you two would appreciate the fact that they're starting a business in a cheap food truck, right?
Yeah, no,
And
totally.
It's a springboard.
Well,
you
I went to
know?
one last night. I went to Hamdi last night over in Freelard, and that started as a pop-up too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Well,
was
it's a way
yeah.
to test your concept, right?
Yeah.
Before a huge capital outlay.
You can jump into a farmer's market and just see what the response is right
Mhm.
away.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, tell us about some of the dumplings that you and Jose are going to be making.
I can barely speak to what Jose was doing because it was kind of a secret. So not that it was a battle, but he's busy and was getting it all together. But I know some of it is really represented, by more the Chifa culture. So it's like
Which
a
is what,
Peruvian,
Chinese?
Peruvian, Cantonese, Chinese mashup. I think there was a big immigration push there, in the early 1800s, and kind of developed this regional cuisine. So
Wow.
it's what he grew up with and holds dear to him, and is a big part of what he's doing, as far as that. Latinx street food
Uh-huh.
piece that he's doing.
So my guess is he's taking a dumpling and he's dipping it in egg batter and deep frying it. Is what one of his dumplings.
Well,
I mean, that's what an
come
egg.
on.
No, it's what an egg roll is, and so it's essentially
Oh.
the same idea.
But what
Yeah.
about the ingredients from there too, right?
Well, yeah, it's obviously
Ecuador is
ingredients
pretty
from that.
tropical, and
Yeah.
You're making a plain pot sticker because you spent some time in Italy and are in love with that kind of
Yeah, it was
milk braised pork
Mhm.
that's in plain, or that's one of the ingredients you can make a little pinch pasta out of.
Yeah, so I was up in in Barolo, and Pleen is just indigenous to that area of Italy, obviously. So this is my little mashup of kind of a Japanese Italian mix up of the Pleen filling, so that milk braised pork into a pot sticker shape, and then cooked out that way. So kind of I made them for a pop-up that I was going to do with my kids. We are at some point, we just haven't got to it, but we did some recipe testing. It was really fun and good. So it's something, I loved being in Italy and, just being Japanese American. It's kind of bringing that to the fore.
Sounds delicious.
So a plain, in my mind, a plain filling is really soft and pasty in a funny way. How do you take that into a much bigger dumpling like a pot sticker without it being just a big pile of mush?
I actually made them more plain shaped, so they're thinner.
Oh, okay.
It's not a traditional pot sticker,
I see.
but it's more rectangular, more plain like looking. So I totally understand what you mean. Like that squishiness, that texture is really not the same as like a steamed pork.
Right. So what we're talking about is PLIN, if you want to look them up online or something, but they're like a pinch, right? You put the pasta in, lay the pasta sheet out, pipe in a little filling, and then pinch the edges into almost like a bow.
Yeah.
And that's called a plain.
So steamed or sauteed?
Both, you'll start them out in oil, throw in some water,
Get some
put
brown
on
on
top.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So it's crispy and steamed at the same time.
And are you going to use a dumpling dough, or are you going to use a plain
pot
dough?
sticker wrappers.
Really?
Pot sticker wrappers.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, no, it's super fun.
The other one that I've had that you've made before is a miso matzo ball soup. So, dumplings are worldwide. Sometimes I think people want to put them in Asia. But there's dumplings all over. Every country has their version of a chicken and dumpling. There's every country has a version. So a miso matzo ball soup that takes care of some of your love for Jewish food.
And my first wife was Jewish, so there's a little basis there as well. And once again, I think just mashing up, miso, chicken soup, like that whole kind of diaspora there, and mashing those two up, and it's once again, I think, fun and really kind of stays within the kind of body of a miso soup, but also with the matzo ball. So fun, simple, and I think not totally expected.
So
it could be a soup dumpling, right?
It is a soup though. Matzo ball is
Like,
a dumpling.
No, but I mean
Not
an actual
like a
soup
bao.
dumpling.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's
Like a
killer.
xylem bao.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
That would be interesting. So traditionally, miso soup is made with a dashi broth, a Japanese tradition, but Jewish soup is a chicken broth with schmaltz on top. So how did you mash those two together?
I make a chicken dashi and also shiitake.
Of course you do.
So chicken bones, dashi, and then
dashi being seaweed.
Yeah.
Delicious. That sounds great.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's pretty good. So a little bit of mustard green on there to cut that.
Your wife, Danica, was evacuated out of Ukraine right before the invasion. And so you're doing a little tribute to Ukrainian food too.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a little farmer's cheese dumpling. So
delicious.
Sour cream. Everything sour
so
cream.
You mixed cheese, like just a
cheese, flour, egg, spice it up, and then serve it with the
What kind of dough
butter.
is on that?
What kind of dough?
Yeah.
It's not a dough. It's just, kind of like more like a chicken dumpling.
Oh, it's more like it's just a drop in the soup kind of
drop
dumpling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think we've not a lot, but with Danica being in Ukraine, she was interested in the cuisine. So, we'll eat around on that. So
awesome. That
Tell
sounds
people
great.
where you shop, because you shop for those Eastern European groceries all the time. What's your favorite shop for that?
I go to George's because it's also right by my Asian market. It's
Uh-huh.
an Asian Family Mart,
Right.
right on 130th and Aurora, and then
Okay.
right up the street, like a block, is George's European Foods, and it's essentially a Ukrainian market, and they have a tiny little like 5-seat restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the gal there does everything, cooks the food, your waiter, like and everything.
Awesome.
She does everything. She has cakes, she has pastries, bread.
Oh, that sounds.
Well, if you want to join us for Dumpling Fest, Dumpling Bros, BROS, here at the Hot Stove, got to go online, buy a ticket. It's September 26th. I trust Jose will be feeling better by then, and you can join ET and Jose in their Dumpling Bros challenge.
perfect. That sounds great.
On Cairo Radio, more
Awesome.
dumplings when we come back. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Thank you.
Nice job, ET.
I know. So there's digestive enzymes that help, because as we age, our digestive enzymes aren't as potent. So this helps with bloating, all of that stuff. And then I have cookies on. How was breakfast, Lisa?
Annie, please join us. Please, I'm desperate.
One more time.
Please.
Hello.
I'm sitting over there pretending like she doesn't know she's supposed to.
I came out here just so that way you don't have to go and find me.
I already went to the office looking for you.
You couldn't see me sitting right there?
You are a small person. No.
No. Very big.
You couldn't hear me standing right over here?
No.
Focusing on her.
There's a first.
Oh.
Wow.
Karate, Annie. Karate.
I'm aiming on that belly right there.
This is where she likes to aim, right here. She is. Are you a black belt?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where she likes to aim.
That's
Then she
what
goes, after she knocks the food out of me, then she goes for the sternum for the final. She just takes her fist and whoosh, grabs my heart out of my chest.
Wow, you make it look very pretty.
Take him down.
I've always wanted to give you my heart, Annie.
I think
It was
our-
really good on a charcoal hibachi.
Yeah, what are those Japanese implements? Those like blades?
samurai.
Well, no, the round
The
blades
stars?
that they
The
throw.
stars?
Oh, throwing star.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have those.
She's got some in her desk, Tom.
I'm telling you, she's a mean one. You'd never
That's
know.
why we have a big freezer here. Yeah.
Wow.
Tom's shaking in his boots.
Like a bowl full of jelly.
I see a little jiggle.
Here we are. It's the Hot
That-
Stove Kitchens right here in downtown Seattle. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're at home making dumplings as we talk about Dumpling Fest
Oh,
coming
man,
up on
I'm
the
getting hungry.
26th. Of this particular battle is the 29th. And
Right.
Bridget, you are in charge of taking down the executive director here at the Hot Stove, Annie Elmore,
Uh-huh.
better known as Edna Mode when she puts her glasses on, of the Invincibles. And Tell me about your guys' challenge that you've been putting on with each other.
Well, we were going back and forth in the office when this whole dumpling fest got hatched. And this came from something you had going, right? Some kind of dumpling fest that was going on at the ballroom,
Thanks
right?
for your support. Yeah, some kind of dumpling.
Yeah,
That was
you
a
know.
Seattle Classic.
I know.
We had
It went
300
on-
people there.
How many years?
20 different dumplings.
Oh,
10 years.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
I went to
Something at the ballroom.
something like that
Yeah.
anyway.
20 different dumplings. How many people? How many vendors?
300 people, 20 different dumpling makers, representing about 11 different countries.
So they had to bring over 300 dumplings each company.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow. You do the math. That's a lot.
Anyway,
So Annie and I decided I would represent Italy. So ET and I are partnering up. No, we're not really. But Italy has what are called gnocchi, which are dumpling, gnocco, or what they have as dumplings. So
Mhm.
I'm going to be doing Italian dumplings, and Annie is going to be doing her dumplings, and we're going to go side by side. And I think that we should have guests vote.
right, because you're
end.
very competitive, as is Annie.
Right.
So
No,
yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
Oh, she
So
is.
you're going to do side by side up here on stage,
She'll
Yeah.
cook one, I'll cook one,
Okay.
vice versa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and is that all you're doing? Is that what people are coming just to watch that one dumpling that you're making?
No.
We're
Okay,
doing,
what
how
are you
many we doing?
doing?
5?
No, we're doing, 5. So they get a welcome taste, one from Bridget, one from me.
Mhm.
And then we're going to demo 4 each per person.
Okay.
So they get 10 different dumplings.
So tell me, Annie, about your dumplings of the evening on the 29th.
So for me, for the welcome taste, I'm gonna do momos, fried momos, kind of like a special feature, dicky that we use.
Diki Tun, yeah, her Tibetan momos that she
Yeah.
used to make. Yeah.
That she used to make here, and I remember loved it a lot. So it was like a fried, flaky dough, and she usually stuffed them with potato peas and her special spice that she
Mhm.
used to blend herself. So I'm making something similar like that, and then
Are you going to
Bridget-
do the cute little French braid that she always
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
man.
she taught me how to do that.
I
That's
can teach you if
amazing.
you want to know how to do that.
Oh, whatever.
That's
Whatever.
beautiful. Yeah. And I'm doing.
How
I'm-
about you and I have a throwdown?
A dough down. I like it.
Ooh. So I'm doing the gnocco frito
Oh, for the opening.
for the
Yeah.
opening. Yeah. Which is a fried bread dumpling, just a chunk of bread that's dough
Right.
that's fried,
Right.
and it makes these little boats.
It's
that you
really good
lay,
with mortadella when it's
Yeah.
warm. Yeah.
or lardo or
Mhm.
prosciutto. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we decided to do a prosciutto for you.
And then what's your next one, Annie?
So the next one, so we kind of went through more of like a cooking method. So, next one, we're doing like a brothy one, and I'm doing a enormous pork and lapchang wonton soup. Bridget's gonna do the pork and veal tortellini and brodo.
Oh, fun. So you just take the ground pork and you wrap it around a piece of Chinese sausage, the lapchang?
Yes, and also pork fat
Uh-huh.
chopped in it too.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's
And
nice
does
and
it come
fatty.
off like a soup dumpling, or is it
Yeah.
more? Okay.
No, it's
Because it's
the
a
brothy.
wonton. Yeah, it's
yeah.
broth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bridget, how about you?
I'm doing a crispy potato gnocchi, and we're gonna do, because it's the season, a nice corn sauce with fresh corn and a little bit of cream and onions. Yeah.
Cream corn. It's an Italian classic. Okay, next up, Annie.
So like with the fancy one, I'm doing a seared beet pot sticker with kabocha squash filling.
Nice.
Uh,
So the beet is in the
in the
in the
dough.
wrap.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So we're gonna use beet powder to make the dough, the beet color.
Mhm.
And then
Oh,
next
fun. What's your answer
Mine's-
to that,
Yeah,
Bridget?
mine's the crispy for the pan-seared is a crispy potato. I jumped ahead. And then we're doing my next one's steamed. And for the steamed, I'm gonna do canderli.
Which is what?
Canderli are bread dumplings, and they
Uh-huh.
traditionally come from that mountainous region between Austria and the Dolomites, and also over in Val d'Aosta area. And they take that bread, pick it apart, and then they fold in ham, cream,
Mhm.
cheese, and those are poached like matzo ball, kind of.
Oh my! I've never had one of those.
They're delicious.
Hopefully, you can top that, Annie.
Oh, whatever. Yes, I can. So I'm gonna do steamed pearl shrimp and water chestnut dumplings.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
Like a what's that Chinese crystal dumpling with the shrimp inside?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one instead of wrappers.
Hagao is what I was thinking.
Yeah, but this one instead of wrappers, it's gonna be with glutinous rice wrap on the outside, so it looks like a pearl balls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it can
Oh,
be
beautiful.
gluten free for whoever who wants to eat dumplings and don't want to eat the wrappers.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
You have an
She's
answer
pretty
for that?
creative. I do. So nudie is another dumpling that they make in Italy, and it's
That's what my grandson Hercules always likes to do. He likes to run around nudie.
kind of looks that way. Ba-da-ba. So nudie comes from Tuscany. It comes from Abruzzo, Umbria, and it's traditionally made with whatever the greens are of that fall. Little spinach, fresh ricotta, and it's this beautiful veggie dumpling.
Yeah. Now, when I've had those in the past, they've come out really smooth on the outside. How do you get that smooth kind of ball texture so it's not rough?
So
That's
what's
just in semolina?
No, they get rolled in all-purpose flour.
Oh.
So as you form them, you roll them in a log like you would traditional gnocchi.
Mhm.
You cut your little dumplings and you tumble them through white flour. And so it gives kind of almost like velveting for
Yeah.
Asian cuisine. And so when you cook them, all of the flour falls off except that little bit on the
Oh,
outside.
interesting. Annie, do you have anything sweet to finish up with?
Well, sweet ones we're not doing for this one. We actually have another sweet dumpling class that I'm doing with Stacy Fortner on
Oh,
Saturday. So
ah.
we're saving that for that class.
I see.
That will be a major throwdown.
We'll have to have Stacy here next week and
Yeah.
go over the sweet dumplings. Isn't it interesting? You stayed in Italy. You kind of went pan Asia, right?
Yeah,
So
totally,
you
yeah.
kind of went above and beyond
Yeah.
one particular country.
I have a
So-
bigger continent,
Yes,
so I
you
can
d-
beat her.
Yes, you do. So if you were to make your favorite dumpling,
Mhm.
both of you, which dumpling at the end of the day? Like for me, there's a recipe in my first book, gnocchi recipe that I just love, and it comes out perfect every time if you follow the directions. And I just think it's so delicious with this time of year with a fresh tomato sauce, and
It's the best.
yeah, it's just the best. And so, what one would you pull out? Because you make a lot of dumplings.
I do, and
Yeah.
I also ate a lot of them when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And so my favorite one is, my mom used to make it all the time, still does, is she fried wontons. And she'll make this, this pork and shrimp filling, but instead of boiling it or steaming it, we deep fry the whole thing.
Mhm.
And
And did you drizzle anything on top of those, or they just like that?
it just like a snacks for all the kids to eat while the adults are busy
Uh-huh.
cooking still. So it's just like a great thing,
Fun.
yeah, to keep us busy.
And did she give you some nuoc cham to dip them into?
Yes, that or sometimes we just have hoisin sauce
Hoisin,
sriracha.
yeah.
Yeah,
I always
Oh,
call
that's awesome.
hoisin Chinese ketchup.
it is.
Yeah, it's just sweet, just like ketchup
It
is.
is.
That's
Bridget, if
awesome.
you had one dumpling to make, what would it be?
I'm with you. I mean, I love the nudie. It's a little more complex to
Uh-huh.
make, but the potato gnocchi, and in the fall, man, with the chanterelles coming in, it's just delicious. And I was taught by this woman Luciana in Italy, up in the north, in the Veneto, and she taught me to add ricotta, little scoop of ricotta to the potato, helps bind it. And I don't make little dumpling marks, little gnocchi
Yeah,
marks.
I don't either.
I keep them square as pillows and just
Uh-huh.
perfectly
Big pillows
cook
or
'em.
little pillows?
Big pillows.
Because my recipe calls for fairly big pillows, and
Yeah.
I can go either way on that. But I also love them pan browned. We did
Oh.
what's with the chicken schnitzel the other night. We did the
The
Austrian
spatzel.
spatzel, and then
Oh,
pan
it's
fried
yum.
that
Yeah.
brown.
Get
A
the
little
crispy.
Austrian dumpling, essentially,
Yeah.
and I love that pan fried.
Yeah, I do
dumpling.
too.
Yeah.
Just an extra step, though, Tom.
I understand, but with sage, a little fresh
Yeah.
sage,
Toasted sage. It's true.
lovely. And sometimes people don't do this enough, but switch out your regular butter for goat butter, and it just adds a little
Oh,
fragrance,
that's a good
a
idea.
pleasant fragrance, and adds a little bit more flavor than butter does, even so. And it browns up like brown butter.
But it's more expensive.
It's not much, not because you don't use that much. Yeah, you cheapskate. All right, next up, it's food for thought, tasty trivia, brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs on Cairo
Awesome.
Radio. It's the Hot Stove
Awesome.
Society Show, 97.3 FM. More expensive.
That's
Yeah, my favorite part is she acts like I'm not paying for it. It's like somehow she's paying for it.
taking.
I would if there was any dollar bills in there. You're lucky to get a few dimes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say pennies. Okay, food for thought, tasty trivia.
You bet. Oh, I do have. What do we have next? Yeah, I think so. Will you get them out of the box and?
Don't make noise while you do it, please.
Yeah.
Just saying. Do you want me to go get the box of?
Are we
questions?
interrupting you over there?
Yeah, that was great.
Well, we don't mind a little noise. It's when the bulldozer comes through. Is that we... Welcome back to the Hot Stove Society Show. Last segment of the day.
Nice.
It's time for Rub with Love Food for Thought Tasty Trivia. We at Rub with Love are here to help with that quick weeknight blast of flavor to help get dinner on the table. You would be surprised how often I open a jar of my own rub because I have 20 different flavors and
It's true.
I do it all the time.
We've
You
got.
can pick some up at your local butcher like Don and Joe's down at the Pike Place Market, or next week on the last week at Mutual Fish, you can go get some salmon rub, or Double D Meats at Mount Lake Terrace, or place an order on our website, tomdouglas.com, where you can also find tips and recipes and videos of how to use Rub with Love.
Ah.
All right, let's play Tasty Trivia. If you want to understand the rules, as simple as this. You drag two audience members out of the audience. We only have two today.
We
They're
have
gonna-
two, so it's
coming up
perfect.
to the mic. And then Bridget will be our third challenger. I'm going to ask three questions or
Oh,
five
you're-
questions of each
Okay.
of you, of the three of you. And then whoever wins gets a free stroll, except for you,
Okay.
through our gift shop for 3 jars of rub. Free
Perfect.
on me. The other one gets to come over and I will personally sign their forehead with a big L for loser.
All right, ladies, come on.
All right,
up.
ladies, come on over.
Little did you know.
You were told what? Well, somebody lied right to you.
Hello.
Hey, Annie, can I get a copy of the questions?
Oh.
They're right here.
And close, right? Okay.
How do you have them and I don't? You're not supposed to have them.
Can we pick our questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you already look at them?
No, I realized.
Oh,
Look at these ladies right in their face and say, no, I have not.
I promise, I did not look at them.
Okay.
Okay.
You believe her?
I don't know.
Depends. Kathy, Cathy. Why? Because we like you.
Yeah.
I'm the shy one.
Oh, no.
You're a shy one?
Yeah. I'm
That's
Lynn.
Lynn.
Lann.
All right.
And Kathy used to come with
Yes.
team building
The
events.
team
with
building
Otto.
events, about 3.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. We have Lynn and Kathy from our audience have joined on the microphone. Yay. Let's give them a big round of applause. We're going to start with Bridget so you're sure of how to play this game.
Okay.
Okay.
And that way you'll know
Okay, I can
just
keep
how
score here.
poorly you can be.
Yeah.
Hey, Bridget,
Yes, Tom.
are you ready for Food for Thought Tasty Trivia
Let's
brought to you
go.
by the tasty Rub with Love Spice Rub line,
Yes.
sauces and mustards? Which cocktail is made from light rum, lime juice, and simple syrup?
Daiquiri.
You are correct.
Ooh.
Nice job. Good start. Now, do you believe she didn't look at the answers?
I didn't.
According to experts, what type of alcohol goes best with salty, fatty foods?
What
which
type?
is one of my complaints because everyone says it goes best with oysters. and I don't see it. Which alcohol, according to experts, goes best with salty, fatty foods?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Vodka.
Vodka. I would think that would be correct, but you are wrong. It is champagne.
That's what I was
I
going
was
to
going to
say.
say, but is it an alcohol per
Yes.
se?
Yes, it
All
is.
right. I was going to
I
say
think wine is
champagne.
considered alcohol. Here, woulda, coulda,
Champagne.
That was
gonna.
a trick. That was
Woulda, coulda, gonna don't work here.
I guess if he had said spirit, then it would have been alcohol.
Bridget, mooncakes are traditionally eaten during which season?
Winter.
You are incorrect. It is
Shit.
the fall.
Sorry.
Have a
Okay.
nice trip. See you next fall.
Ba-dum-ba.
Number 4 for Bridget. The first KFC, which stands for
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
right, was introduced to the public in which decade? It's about when you were born.
I want to say the 60s.
Yeah, well, you'd be wrong.
50s.
50s.
Wrong.
40s?
30s.
Oh, man.
They had bad taste way back
He was baiting me. He was totally baiting me.
You should have picked up on that one. Sure. So I believe you have 1 out of 4 so far.
Correct.
1 out of 4 correct.
I'm not going to look at his face as he reads
All right,
the
question number 5. Which of these steaks is also known as a hanger steak? T-bone, porterhouse, onglet.
The third one.
The onglet, O-N-G-L-E-T. You're
Correct.
You sure?
100%.
100% sure. You are correct.
Oh.
All right, 2 out of 5 for Miss Bridget.
Yay!
Ladies, do you
All right,
think you can
thanks,
top
ladies.
this?
Thanks, ladies.
Lynn's going to go first.
Lynn's going first.
Thanks, Lenny.
Okay, Lynn, here we are. How's your day been so far at the Hot Stove Radio Show?
Awesome.
Would you suggest it to anybody else?
Everybody. else.
Everybody.
We've been here 2 times.
Good.
So
You're
far.
a winner, Lynn.
Yay! Brown noser too.
Lynn, what kind of meat is used to make a cottage pie? It's not cottage cheese, I can tell you that.
I would say beef.
You are correct.
Nice.
I'm a
There's-
vegetarian, so I'm speaking from
You're a vegetarian?
past history.
Yeah. I only eat meat myself. No, I was just thinking about that because I saw an ad for my big fat Greek wedding, and it's one of the best lines ever.
What is it?
When he says she offers him something at the big gala, and he says she offered him lamb, or no, she offered him dinner. And he says to her, "I'm a vegetarian," and she says, "Well, you'll have the lamb then." Yeah, anyway. Pilsner beer, Lynn. Pilsner beer originates from which country? Pilsner
Germany.
beer.
Germany.
It's a good guess, but it's incorrect. The Czech Republic. Wow. You took your adversary's advice, Kathy? Whoa.
I
Yeah,
would've
just
gotten it
put
wrong
your
anyway.
hand up. So
I
you
was
don't
going
have
to say Austria, but
Yeah.
so
Which chef stars in the TV show Kitchen Nightmares? He might be my least favorite chef on television.
He's on a lot. On
He's
I
on-
can
he's on,
picture
like, the
him.
Paramount
but
lot.
I can picture him. Doesn't he have
Okay.
blonde hair?
Mhm.
He's old. Probably as old as me.
I don't remember his
All right,
name.
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh. See, now I know.
Yeah, he's
now
also,
you
I
know his
remember.
name, right?
I don't like the way he treats people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's part of the shtick, Tom.
well, whatever.
Hopefully.
Would you ever want to work in a restaurant if he was the
Nope.
chef? No.
I went through that.
All right,
already.
you are 1 for 3 so far. You're
Don't
racing
feel bad.
Bridget
It's
to the
okay.
racing Bridget to the bottom.
Oh.
All right, here's your 4th question. Tequila, triple sec, and lime are the ingredients of which cocktail? And the song maker just passed away.
Well,
Sadly.
Margarita.
Margarita.
Yay.
God rest his soul. I
All
don't
right,
have
2
a good
for
history.
4. 2 for 4. Last question. This is how you can top Miss. You only got 1 for 5, right?
I got,
got 2.
2.
2 for 5. Okay. Lynn, Highland Spring is a brand which produces what drink? Highland Spring.
Mm.
Gin. I
What drink? Gin?
drink.
Water.
Oh, I was going to say water.
All right. You and
Hey,
Bridget
we're
Oh,
tied.
no.
Tied up. Nice
tied
job.
at the bottom.
Okay, 0 for 5.
Kathy, it's all
Yes.
coming down to you
Oh man.
for a stroll, for of
A victory stroll.
victory stroll through our gift shop.
I'm going to just sheepishly walk away.
All right, here we go. This is a little tricky one. Caesar salad comes from which country?
Mexico.
You are correct. Nice job.
Wow.
Almost everyone says Italy, and it's just not the case.
Actually, I learned that from Martha Stewart. I hate to admit.
Not Tom.
Wait, no, Martha
Stewart.
Stewart puts icebergs in her cocktail, just so you know. Rioja wine comes from which country?
Spain.
You are correct again. 2 for 2. She's on a roll.
Oh,
Wow.
All right. Are you a fisher person? You like
as
to
in
cook seafood?
yeah.
Okay. So, what is the main ingredient of gravlax?
Lox. Gravlax. Oh no, excuse me.
Main ingredient of gravlax.
Mackerel.
Mackerel. Good guess, but incorrect. It would be salmon.
Oh,
So lox is a smoked, soft,
okay.
cold smoked salmon. Gravlax is just cured salmon, usually with dill or
Learned
fennel.
something. Oh, okay. Thank you.
This is an easy one because I've stayed at this hotel. The Waldorf salad was created in which U.S. city?
New York.
New York City at the
Wow.
Waldorf Astoria
Astoria.
Hotel. So you already are the winner even before you get your 5th question.
Okay, here we go.
And Heineken beer, which is brewed all over the world, was first brewed where?
Don't
You drink
tell her,
Heineken?
Lynn. Don't
No,
tell her.
I'm
Lynn.
a micro gal.
You're a micro gal.
Rubens.
There you go.
Heineken was first brewed.
Yes.
Boy, Amsterdam.
I'll give it to you. The
That's pretty-
Netherlands.
yeah.
So yes, I'll
Oh,
give it
you
to
got
you.
it.
Nice
Look at
job.
that.
Hey.
You are the winner today.
4.
Congratulations to Kathy with a
Nice.
C, which stands for classy.
Oh, thank you.
There you
don't
go.
know me then. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Nice job.
If you want to be part of the show like Lynn and Kathy, you can
Be a
join
part.
the
Be a part.
community
Be a
on
part.
YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us in the studio at hotstovesociety.com. Show is produced by the whole team here at Tom Douglas & Co. Sean McFadden is our technical wizard, and our talented editor at Cairo is Sean. Please don't call me Dottore. And the trivia today was put together by Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
Oh,
out at the
Liz,
office.
nice job.
Also, remember, if you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show in Cairo, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe with your favorite podcast app. Bridget, thanks for filling in for Chef Terry
Yeah,
today.
thanks for listening.
Safe travels to our pal in the hat.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was fun.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
Oh my gosh. I'm exhausted. John, what are we going to do with these people? I'm exhausted.
Exhausted.
5 questions.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not
so-
used to this. Getting up and yeah.
That's awesome.
It really is.
Yeah, exactly. All right, quiet on the set for this segment. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
Hi, Bridget Charters.
This afternoon on the hot stove. Let's do that again. See, that's what I'm
Okay.
trying to avoid. It's the afternoon. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And Bridget Charters.
This afternoon on the Hot Stove Society radio show, we talked the Eucalyptus Cookbook with Chef Moshe Basson. Emily Blessington is here from Farmbox Greens, Secrets to Paella, and Dumplings.
Sounds fabulous.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks.